1. Setup. Trigger chosen. Betrayed by a best friend. Longtime friend steals his idea, partner, or position. I was a hopeful man in my 30s, a steady worker with a stubborn heart and a belief in simple loyalties. I built a small company with my best friend and watched the city light up as I trusted him the way a man trusts the dawn with everything I had, because I had seen him stand at my side when the world was loud and scary and push through with a quiet courage I thought was real. We split the risk, the shift, the coffee cups, and the dreams. I accepted his jokes, his patient listening. We were a pair welded by late hours, shared risks and a common dream. And I believed in him the way a man believes in his own heartbeat. I believed in the future he spoke of, the plan we drew on whiteboards that fogged with our breath. The weathered notebook, where we listed names of clients and chapters of a story I was certain we would grow old in this game together. 2 pieces of one stubborn puzzle, 2 hands that would never let go. Second, inciting incident. Then the night shattered. My friend, the man I trusted as a brother, took our core idea and walked it into a rival circle with his own name on the banner. He sold the dream we built as if he had carried the torch from the very start, while broadcast cameras hummed and glowed like captive suns. The room smelled of coffee and new money, and the air turned sour with the taste of betrayal. He spoke of a pivot that was never discussed with me, of a direction that sounded bold but was really borrowed. Emails began to vanish from my inbox, and then reappear in a different form, as if someone had translated our history into a rumor and sold it back to us with a shine. My name was taken in the same breath as the plan. My credibility slid down the ramp like a masked figure sliding into the dark. The worst part was the way his smile felt like a blade, the way his handshake tasted of serpents, the way his praise for the bold new direction tasted hollow and rehearsed. He did not merely steal a product, he rewrote our story so that it appeared as if the success belonged to him alone. The moment burned itself into my memory, rising action. After that, the world turned slowly into a cold river, and I learned to wade through it. I collapsed inward at first, letting the fear of losing everything settle into my bones, until I could not tell where the pain began and the pride ended. I slept little and walked the city at dawn. I started to notice the tiny details I had missed in my focus on partnership, the timing of his emails, the small lies dressed as confidences, and I kept a private ledger in my head, cataloguing every lie, every nod, every smile that did not reach his eyes. I learned the law not to beat him at his game, but to know the lines he would try to cross and the traps that could hold him. I spoke little and listened more, letting others tell me what I already knew in their softer, cautious voices. I built new alliances in the shadows, engineers who cared about clean code and honest work. Every night I practiced patience. Every morning I rehearsed restraint. Every hour I reminded myself that revenge without justice is only hunger wearing a mask. The air around me grew sharper, the taste of coffee sweeter and somehow cruel. The smell of printer ink reminding me of contracts and consequences. I refined a purpose beyond simply hurting him. I wanted to build something that would outlast his lies, something that would give others back their own trust. The process carved a new shape in me, a man who could endure the heat of betrayal and still breathe in the cold air of a rising day. 4. Climax. The moment I stood there with a quiet, steady voice and a mind that had learned to favor truth over comfort. I laid out the evidence with the care of someone who knows that every word he speaks now will outlive him. The table before me held the receipts, timestamps that matched the date of our earliest notes, emails that showed. He tried to laugh it off, to frame it as a misunderstanding, to hide behind a shield of social charm, but the room would not let him. The audience asked questions, and I answered with facts, with the cold honesty of someone who'd slept on a cot of worry and woke with a plan. I did not become loud in a moment. I grew louder. I watched his confidence slip, as the numbers and the names he did not think would collide did exactly that. The audience saw through the false portrait he painted of me, the grieving partner, who could not handle success, and in their eyes I found a strange, familiar mercy. Not mercy for him, but for the few. When the last slide flashed, the room exhaled in a low, unanimous breath, and the man who had built nothing without copying mine stood in the space where a hero should stand, and found only the echo of his own hollowed bragging. The truth did what 1,000 apologies could not do. It pinned him to his chair with the weight of— I did not chase vengeance as a flame that would burn everything to ash. I reached for what could last. I started a foundation for founders who face betrayals like mine, a sanctuary where due diligence is not a luxury, but a standard. I poured energy into teaching others how to protect an idea without starving the trust that grows between people. I wrote a book that spoke in plain language about how to recognize red flags, how to keep control of your work, how to stay honest when the market tempts you to bend, how to navigate a world where friends can turn into rivals at the speed of a rumor. The book did not merely sell, it shared. It became the foundation grew into a network of mentors, investors who believed that integrity could be a winning strategy, and a culture that rewarded careful thinking over flashy bravado. I learned to measure success not by the speed of ascent, but by the length of the line of people ready to vouch for what they built with their own hands. I used the pain to fuel something larger than myself, a place where men who have been betrayed can still stand tall, can still trust their own judgment, and can still choose to create something that outlasts a single season of scandal. In time, I found quiet pride in the lives I touched, in the stories of founders who found— My name was once a rumor in a crowded room. Now it was a promise in a room where light found the corners and stayed, where hope did not tremble, where honest work began to feel important again. 6. Ending. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe to this channel.